Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan Cook, and this report on the importance of King Ethelbert to the history of the English language is by Aslan Perry, Lillian Rasmussen, and myself. Our story starts around 589 CE when Ethelbert becomes the King of Kent, a position that grants him imperium over all the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in Britain at the time. Most of the dates we have for Ethelbert's life are uncertain and inexact, but he was probably born around 560 and would die around 616 in the Common Era. When he becomes king, most of England is not Christian, though it's possible some remnants of the religion linger from the era of Roman rule. But Aethelbert is certainly aware of Christianity through his marriage to his Frankish and Christian wife, Bertha. It is perhaps due to her influence that Ethelbert allows the Roman monk Augustine to come and preach at Canterbury, and ultimately this in turn leads to Aethelbert's conversion to Christianity, and that directly leads to the most relevant of his achievements for the purposes of this class, his writing of the Laws of Ethelbert.
Det syndon fradomus, the Aethelbert Königa setter on Augustinus die. These are the judgments which King Ethelbert established in Augustine's day.
This image is from the Textus Rufensis, which contains a 12th century copy of Ethelbert's laws. These are the oldest laws written in Old English and believed to be the oldest Old English text of any kind. The laws represent the changing culture of Britain at the time, and a significant portion of them are particularly concerned with the newly elevated Christian church and the clergy. Though this copy is hundreds of years removed from when Ethelbert first wrote the laws, there are many archaic features demonstrated in the text that point to it being an authentic and reliable copy of the original. There's evidence to suggest that at least some of the laws predated Ethelbert, with syntax and mnemonic features like alliteration that imply they might be drawing from an oral tradition. The British historian Bede says that the laws were written in a Roman style, and there's some debate about whether that just means that they were written down like Roman laws were, or whether they were actually modeled after some other Roman book of laws. Some scholars also question whether some of the unusual syntactical features could be from the authors trying to more accurately model the grammar of a Latin source text. Now, some of these archaic features represented in this text and few, if any, other Old English texts are examined on this slide. To pick just a couple, we see the use of doubled vowels to indicate their length, inconsistent representations of the dental fricative, and we see the diphthong a represented not only with the ligature ash, as in most Old English texts, but spelled out as a digraph, ae. We also see some unusual grammatical cases and tenses, including some that are believed to have been inherited from Old Germanic languages and that were probably out of date and old-fashioned even in Ethelbert's time. Fascinatingly, the laws of Ethelbert also provide us with several hapax legomena, which are unique words that only appear in this text and in no other surviving Old English texts. Debates about the precise meaning and translation of these words, like a widow's mund, continue to be significant points of contention and ongoing research. Ethelbert's laws are thus a unique and invaluable window into a mostly undocumented era of Old English. They are also useful for the view they give us of a changing English culture and for the influence they would have on subsequent generations of English jurisprudence. In conclusion, the King of Kent did not intentionally shape the English language to the degree that later writers or political figures like Alfred the Great did, but his laws do represent an important transitional point for the English language and English culture, and their significance for people trying to understand the development of Old English is vast. The laws represent our best evidence about how the Old English of the era was spoken, and are another point of Latin influence on English's development. Ethelbert's laws continued to influence coming generations of English legal codes, and as one of the oldest English texts, the laws connect modern English speakers and researchers to the earliest parts of the language's history.
Det syndon fradomus, the Aethelbert Königa setter on Augustinus die.
On behalf of Lillian and Aslan, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention. Sources for the information in this presentation are listed here. Have a great day, everybody.